what old Dan would do if little Ann got into a predicament. One night, I got my answer. For several days, a northern blizzard had been blowing. It was a bad one. The temperature dropped down to 10 below. When the wind started blowing, everything froze, leaving the ground as slick as glass. Old Dan, little Ann! Be ready, we're going hunting tonight. Where the Red Fern Grows by Wilson Rawls.
Jane,
Be careful tonight.
it's slick down under the snow.
I will, Papa. I ain't going far. My lantern's a good one.
Well, anyway,
Be careful. There'll be no moon tonight. You're gonna see some fog down next to the river. Walking through our fields, it was slick and dark. I couldn't see anything beyond the glow of my lantern. I ain't worried. Once I reached the timber, old Dan shook the snow from the underbrush with his deep bawl.
oh,
I stopped and listened. The deep bass tones rolled around under the tall sycamores. He smelled a coon. Hurry up, old Dan! Oh, I see what you're doing. Working the trail slowly for the coon. Little Ann is by your side now. Keep going, find that coon! What tricks do you have in mind, coon? You can't hide your trail with snow on the ground. Suddenly, down out of the mountains, little Ann and old Dan Brunner singing a hound dog song on his heels. The coon cut to my right. The deep "ers" of old Dan and the sharp "ers" of little Ann bored a hole into the inky black night. Coon had a reason for turning and coming back to the river. What trick do you have in mind, yo coon? My grandfather had told me. Never underestimate the cunning of an old river coon. When the nights are dark and the ground is frozen and slick, they can pull some mean old tricks on a hound. Sometimes the tricks can be fatal. Halfway through the fog-covered bottoms, the voices of my dogs stopped. Cold silence settled over. I could hear the snap and crack of frozen limbs. Something is different. Something is missing. There's no sound of water. But wait, there's a gurgling. Out in the middle of the stream where the current is swift, the water is running, leaving a gap in the ice pack. What I heard next froze the blood in my veins. It was one long, continuous, frightening cry. In old Dan's deep voice, there was a pleading cry for help. Scared, worried, and with my heart beating like a drum, I started toward the sound. I almost passed him. He was out on the ice. I couldn't see him for the fog. Oh, Dad! He came to me. He was the same dog. He looked between his legs and had bowed down. Oh! He held the most mournful cry I had ever heard. Turning around, he trotted back out on the ice, disappearing in the fog. Little Ann! Little Ann! Little Ann! The coon had led them to the river, running out on the ice. He had leapt across the gap. Old Dan made his leap. Little Ann did not. Her small feet slipped on the slick ice, and she fell into the icy waters. Old Dan, seeing the fate of his little friend, quit the chase and came back to help. The smart old coon had pulled his trick. And a deadly one it was. I had to do something. She'd never be able to get out by herself. The ice will never hold me. Little Ann started whining, begging for help. Something had to be done, and done quickly, or my little dog was lost. I can run home for a rope. You can't last until I get back. She's crying again. If only I could see you. My lantern! I ran for the bottoms, looking for the longest stand of wild cane I could find. I hurried back, hung the lantern by the handle on the end of it, and started easing it out on the ice. Oh, Dan
Oh, oh!
Old Dan knew the end was close. I wanted to get my light to little Ann. I'm a good 8 feet short. Now, I can see when the end comes. I don't know when I started toward my dog. I took 2 steps. I twisted and fell toward the bank. Cool, my legs. It's hopeless. How can I save her? She thinks I've abandoned her. But Lean's gone. I need a miracle. I promise I'll do anything. I love my dogs more than I love myself. Click. Abruptly, I heard a sharp metallic sound. Metal striking metal. My lantern, it made the sound. I had left the handle standing straight up. For some unknown reason, now it was down. As it had fallen, it struck the metal frame, making the sound. And like a blinding red flash, the message of the lantern bored its way into my brain. There is my miracle. There's the way to save my little dog. Faster than I'd ever moved in my life, I went to work. With my pole, I fished the lantern back to the bank, took the handle out, straightened it out, and bent the hook in one end. With one of my shoelaces, I tied the hook to the end of the cane. Hang on, I won't give up. I'm gonna save you. I lifted the lantern back out on the ice, laid the pole down, picked up our axe, and stepped down into the hole in the icy waters. The water came up to my knees, step by step, breaking the ice with my axe. I waded out. Water reached my hips and then my waist. The cold bite me took my breath away. The water reached my armpits. I stopped and worked my pole toward little Ann. But I was still a good foot short. I won't give up, little Ann. The water reached my chin. I started hooking at the collar of little Ann. Time after time, I felt the hook almost catch. Please, help me. Lean's claws slipped again. All I could see were her small red paws, nose, and eyes. Holding one to help, he started digging at the eyes. Get out of the way, Elton! It's impossible. Finally, the hook slid through the tough leather. It was not too soon. I started dragging little Ann over the rim of the eyes. She didn't move. I thought she was dead. Quickly built a fire from the surrounding brush and wood. I laid little Ann close to the warm heat and went to work. Old Dan washed her head with his warm red tongue while I massaged and rubbed her body. Come on, little Ann. Her blood started circulating. There you go. Talk to me. Her strength is coming back, old Dan. Unexpectedly, little Ann jumped up and started licking me in the face. Let's go home. Thank you. Thank you, God. This time, my prayer wasn't said with just words. All my heart and soul was in it.